Welcome to this new series I'm calling What I See, where I go into one of the images that I've taken, I break it down, I talk about what I was seeing at the moment, what I maybe see in the image when I was taking it, talk about a little bit on the composition, the colors maybe, and then I go into perhaps some post-processing and how I tweak the image too to get to be a little more artistic perhaps. I hope you enjoyed this, and please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And then it really does help the channel. So I appreciate all that you do. Thank you. Okay, to start off this series, we're going to start with probably my most popular photo. It's called The Road to Nowhere. And the backstory for this image was that it was a really foggy spring morning. I wanted to get out and about and capture some fog and some mist and some really cool shots, and just happened to drive by this area that if you drove by it you wouldn't even really notice it. It was kind of an open field, and actually I think at this point the at least one of these trees is now gone, and they've put up auto glass building or something like that next to where these trees were, so kind of on the right here. At any rate, so I happened to drive by, and I really liked the composition of the road and the trees. So I turned around and parked my car and got out, kind of wandered into the field, and noticed that normally there's a lot of stuff in this background beyond the fog here. And so the fog, it was really good to kind of help bring this to more of a minimalist view, and just really kind of bring in focus these trees that just fascinated me, especially in this weather. So um, to line up the shots, what I did was is I really wanted the eye to be drawn in by the road here into the shots. Um, I say road to nowhere because it looks like there's nowhere in the background. There's nothing in the background really, and the trees have kind of a haunting quality to them. They aren't quite dead, but I think it wasn't yet time for them to bloom. It's possible that one or both of these were actually dead at the time, but it was kind of a cold March morning, and just really kind of a ripe situation to be able to look at the the fog and the weather cooperating, and um, leaning into some of the browner colors, which are still around during March time. Not yet time for blossoms in the spring. So it's kind of cold and wet, like I said, and you can kind of see that in the more darker, muddier areas here. I'm not quite sure what this road went to, but it's clear that it's a well-worn path, and there's just something in that that stood out to me as well. The You can kind of see some of the fog layer in the background is separating from the foreground, but for the most part, really, it just kind of brings an eerie feel to this image to kind of have that. Really kind of speaks to me, and I think it does to a lot of people, and that's why it's one of my more popular images. Um, Generally, I do like to find where the line's drawing your eye into the image. I tend to aim for that just because I feel it sucks people into the photo, and um, there's not necessarily something that it's pointing at other than it's just kind of going off into the ether, which is kind of cool. But you definitely kind of feel the seasonality or the hauntingness of this image, in my opinion. And it resonates with a number of people. I think that, like I said, it's the image probably that I've sold the most prints of, and you know, it just happened to be something that I was driving by and noticed. So maybe the lesson in that is that have some idea what you're looking for. So I was out and about looking for foggy images, but also just be open to what grabs your attention and look at it from different angles. I could have probably centered the road so that the road was driving into the background, um, but I didn't in this case. I tried a couple of different angles of this, and I really kind of liked that the trees were centered instead of the road. And so it's kind of like they're the focal point, but the road is still drawing your eye into the image, which is kind of the whole point. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned a little something with what I was looking at when I took this image. That's the whole point of this series. And I would love to hear some feedback and love to hear more on what you see in this image. Feel free to put something down in the comments below that tells me maybe there's something that I missed, or that there's something that this image says to you. Um, of course, art is very interpretive to the beholder, so it's always interesting to see what other people think. Okay, thank you. So that was The Road to Nowhere, one of my favorite images, one of my most popular images, and I hope you liked it. Would love to hear some feedback on the series, what you think, or let me know if any of my images you're really interested in seeing next. So be sure to share with your friends and like and comment below. That would be great. Thanks.